what's wrong with foreign language teaching in this country?
Well, that's a bit the same, isn't it? I think that, again, teachers can't speak English. They can't speak English. And then another interesting issue that arises these days is the respect issue. Yeah? Nowadays, people talk about respect. Where's the respect? Children don't respect adults anymore, and students don't respect teachers anymore. Have you heard that in the news and all that? But I think that what would be respectful would be to have a real debate in this country on what students have to learn in English and how they learn it. And for me, that's a problem in this country, that people talk a lot, but I don't understand anything, because it's all very obscure. They don't go to the basic, to the main points, which in teaching a language is, first of all, aims, objetivos, what do students have to learn, and B, actividades and metodología, what the students have to do to achieve those aims and how to do it. And for me, to create a serious debate among professionals, among teachers, that would be respectful for us and for students. And for me, that would be respectful and honest. Honest? So honest. And thinking about this respect, I also brought a book with me from this author. His name is Benjamin Zephaniah. He is originally from Jamaica, and it's called Too Black, Too Strong. He writes poems, poems, and but he writes in the kind of English he speaks, which is like Jamaican, a different accent, not like me. I speak very London, very pure, okay? He's like, we all say we love honesty, but then what of the lies we do? Your love may lie and yet be true. How honest can you be? Different. But I like that sentence. How honest can you be? Okay? So when people talk about respect and all this blah, 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 are they really being honest? How honest can you be? For me to be honest would be, right, let's sit down and let's talk. What do children have to learn in English, and how are we going to achieve this? That would be respectful for me.
It's very interesting.
Is it?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
How can we fix it?
How can we fix it?
Yes.
Well, first of all, empowering teachers so they can speak English fluently, spontaneously. And how can we fix it, Chefa? How can we fix it? Well, I ask you the question, how can we fix it? Because at the end of the day, it seems that only one can do, you can only do your thing, because there's not much communication. And with this funcionario system, if you don't want to work, you don't really have to work. There is no one saying, what are you doing? Are you working or not? And that's a pity. So that's one thing. And then, as I say, a serious talk about how children learn English and what they have to learn.
You lived abroad and now the situation there. What are the main differences in the way we teach here and abroad?
It's quite different. It's very different. Yes. Have you been in England or?
Scotland.
In Scotland?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you go to school there?
Yes.
Yeah. High school or primary school? Primary school.
Yes.
And did you see it was different? Yeah.
It's
Very different. It's very different, and I think that the main difference perhaps is that here you have to memorize a lot of things. It's just all in a textbook and you have to sort of memorize everything and then write it down in the exam. That's my impression.
Yes.
Is it like that?
My impression.
Is it? Because I went to high school here in Galicia,
Yes.
and it was like that, you know, just, you know, chapando at school, yeah? Memorizing.
Yes.
Yeah, memorizing. Yeah, whereas in the English,
More practical.
yes, and the thing is that you do things. You do things. So, for instance, science, like here you have biology, chemistry. Science we did in a laboratory, yeah. And every day, you know, you knew how to use goggles and a Bunsen burner, you know, a Bunsen burner, test tubes, and you were learning about science, about making hypotheses, you know, and then making an experiment, and then getting some results and writing them down. And in that experiment, you're working with lots of different things, like languages, like mathematics, because you're drawing a graph maybe, or a table. And it's more the real world, you know, it's more the real world. And with children, with primary children, it's very different as well. So what I try to do is I try to do interesting things for them. Things that they like doing, but not like, ha ha ha, like funny, no. Serious things, but things that make them think, which I think is important. For people to think, because education is also about making people think. But, sorry, what you said about fixing it, I think it's very difficult to change. It's one of the most difficult things in this world, to change. So, teachers tend to repeat the school they lived in. So if they went to school with a teacher saying, everybody has to sit down, they will tend to repeat that when they are teachers. It's very difficult to change that, you know, mentality if you haven't experienced it yourself, you know. So, yeah, it's a bit difficult.
When and how do we start teaching English to very young children?
When and how?
Yes.
Well, now, according to the law, well, from very little. But, would you like some water? Would you like some water for your throat?
Yes.
Perhaps. Can we have some water?
Yes.
Are you ill? Really? Oh dear. Have you got the bird flu?
I wanted the situation because I have to study for the examples.
Oh, the exams.
Yes,
Oh,
mathematics and then it's a problem.